Welcome to our channel. Have you ever wanted something so badly, something you thought was bigger and better than what you already had? What if getting that one thing meant risking everything you hold dear? Today we're going to tell a story about a dog who faced this very choice. This is the timeless tale of the dog and his reflection. Our story begins in a small, bustling village, full of life and wonderful smells. And in this village lived a dog named Rocky. Rocky wasn't a bad dog, but he had a very big heart and an even bigger stomach. Today, his stomach felt incredibly empty. It rumbled like distant thunder, a sad, lonely sound. Oh, my poor tummy. It feels so hollow, like a drum with no song. I've sniffed every corner of this village. Not a single crumb, not a forgotten piece of bread. The world feels a little gray when you're this hungry. Rocky felt a wave of sadness wash over him. His tail, usually a happy flag wagging in the wind, now drooped low, barely sweeping the dusty ground. He watched as children shared their sweets, and the wonderful aroma of freshly baked bread wafted from the bakery, making his hunger even more painful. He felt invisible, a lonely shadow in a world full of feasts. Just as Rocky was about to give up all hope and find a shady spot for a sad nap, his nose suddenly twitched. A glorious, mouth-watering scent filled the air. It was the most amazing smell he had ever encountered. It was the smell of hope. He followed the scent with a new energy, his paws moving faster and faster until he found himself in front of the butcher's shop. The butcher, a kind man with a big friendly smile, was busy at work. Chop, chop, chop. His cleaver worked skillfully. And then it happened. A magnificent, juicy bone with delicious scraps of meat still clinging to it flew through the air and landed with a soft thud right in front of Rocky. Rocky's eyes widened in disbelief. His heart started to beat like a drum, but this time it was a happy, excited rhythm. He felt a jolt of pure joy, so strong it made his whole body tremble. Is this real? Is this a dream? For me? Oh, what a lucky day! This isn't just a bone. This is a treasure, the most beautiful treasure in the whole wide world. The butcher saw the look on Rocky's face and chuckled. "Go on, boy," he said with a wave of his hand. "That one's for you. You look like you could use it." Gratitude swelled in Rocky's chest. He gave the butcher a happy bark, a sound full of thanks, before gently picking up his prize. The bone was heavy and perfect in his mouth. He felt like a king who had just been given the crown jewels. Holding his head high, Rocky trotted away from the butcher shop. He felt proud, triumphant, but his joy was quickly mixed with a new feeling: anxiety. He saw other dogs in the street, and his heart began to race with fear. Oh no, they can smell it. I know they can. They're looking at my bone. What if they try to take it from me? This treasure is mine, all mine. I can't share it, not a single bite. I must find a secret place, a safe place where no one can bother me. This fear, this tiny seed of greed, began to sprout in Rocky's heart. He started to walk faster, then broke into a run. He wasn't just running to find a quiet spot anymore. He was running away from an imaginary threat. He felt a desperate need to protect his bone, to keep it all for himself. The joy of his gift was slowly being replaced by the fear of losing it. He left the village behind, heading towards the quiet fields beyond. Rocky's journey led him to a peaceful part of the countryside. He came to a narrow wooden bridge that crossed over a clear, calm river. The river was so still, it looked like a perfect mirror, reflecting the bright blue sky and the fluffy white clouds. The river felt peaceful, but Rocky's heart was not. It was still pounding with anxiety.
Almost there, he thought, his paws making a soft thump, thump, thump on the wooden planks. On the other side of this bridge, I'll find the perfect spot, my own private paradise to enjoy my feast.
He took a few steps onto the bridge and, out of habit, glanced down at the water. And then he froze. His breath caught in his throat.
Staring back up at him from the water was another dog. And this dog was holding a bone too. Rocky squinted, his eyes wide with shock and disbelief. The water, with its gentle ripples, made the reflection seem slightly distorted. To Rocky's greedy eyes, the bone in the other dog's mouth looked bigger. It looked juicier. It looked better. Who is that? And look at that bone. It's enormous. It's twice the size of my bone. It's not fair. Why does he get a bone like that? I found my bone. I earned it. But his is a feast for a king. I want that bone. I need that bone. I deserve both. A powerful wave of greed, much stronger than the fear he felt before, completely consumed him. It was a hot, burning feeling in his chest. All common sense vanished. He forgot about the kind butcher. He forgot about his own wonderful treasure. All he could see was the other dog with the better prize. The calm river felt tense, holding its breath, as if it knew a terrible mistake was about to happen. He thought, I'll scare him. I'll give him my fiercest bark, and he'll get so frightened that he'll drop his bone. Then I'll have 2 bones. I'll be the richest dog in the world. His mind was made up. He leaned over the edge of the bridge, his body tense. He took a deep breath, preparing for his mightiest roar. He opened his mouth wide and let out a loud, ferocious woof. But the moment the sound left his throat, the unthinkable happened. Plop! His own precious bone, the real juicy bone from the butcher, slipped from his now open mouth. He watched in horror as it fell through the air, hit the water with a splash, and instantly vanished into the depths. The reflection of the other dog in the bigger bone shattered into 1,000 ripples, disappearing along with his own treasure. There was nothing. The other dog was gone. The bigger bone was gone. And his own perfect bone, was gone forever, swallowed by the silent river. Rocky stared at the empty water, his bark echoing foolishly in the quiet air. The reflection that slowly returned was just his own, a sad, wet-nosed dog with nothing in his mouth. A profound sadness, heavier than any hunger he had ever felt, settled over him. He felt so stupid. The river, which had seemed so peaceful, now felt like it was mocking him with its quiet, knowing surface. He had been tricked, not by another dog, but by his own reflection, by his own greed. He slowly walked off the bridge, his tail tucked between his legs. The world seemed gray again, but this time it wasn't because of hunger. It was because of regret. He had held a treasure in his mouth, and in a moment of foolish greed, he had lost everything. Rocky went home that day with an empty stomach, but a heart full of a heavy lesson. He had learned the hard way that wanting more can sometimes lead to having nothing at all.
And so, the moral of the story is, be content with what you have. If you are always greedy for more, you might lose the very thing you already possess. It is foolish to risk a true treasure for an illusion, a substance for a shadow. Thank you so much for watching. We hope this story reminds you to appreciate the good things in your life. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more timeless stories and life lessons. See you next time!